So Lisa, you had the question about the image. How do you pick the image? Well, this is the image that we are using. And this is our social media online classes.com member, Kelly Post, who is with us on today's webinar. Kelly is a social worker from Canada who has written a book called The Pet Affection. And it's about the love connection that people have with their pets. And Kelly won the contest for this month because I wanted to use one of your images. I wanted to show y'all that it can be any image. And that's the answer, Lisa, is it doesn't have to be the perfect image. It just has to be the one that you have. Now, the tool that I used to do this is canva.com. Canva is a free online tool that is made for people who are not designers. So it's made for people just like us. You don't have to know Photoshop, thank goodness. You don't have to be a graphic designer, and the best part is you don't need to know the image sizes. There are posts that are really popular these days about, the infographic that has every image size. I don't want to know every image size. I don't want to have to know every image size. I want something to take care of that for me, and that's what Canva does. Now, I'll be showing you a little bit about Canva, but I'm not going to show you how I made every single one of these. This is a link to a video that I did that is on the blog on how to use Canva to repurpose a photo. So it's similar to what I'm doing today, but I just took a photo and redid it like 3 times. So it is not anywhere near as exhaustive as what we're going to be doing today. But this shows you exactly how I do it in Canva. So you're really kind of looking over my shoulder as I do this. Now, Kelly initially wanted to use the cover of her book. And I asked to use something different because that's already professionally designed. And I literally wanted to use just a plain, common photo that anybody would have. It doesn't have to be the perfect photo. It just has to be an authentic photo. So without further ado, let's get started with photo number 1, or use number 1. So here's our first one, which is a social media cover. Now, this one is a Facebook cover, and I used Canva's Facebook cover design, and here is Kelly's photo. And what I did was I just uploaded her photo. I added this green rectangle. I added the text and added these paw icons, which were free in Canva. And I did the orange available on Amazon. I don't know if Kelly's book is available on Amazon. I did not actually do 30 pieces of content for Kelly. I just did examples. So some of the text on these is not going to make sense. But, if it's available on Amazon, that's where people are going to be buying it. So let me show y'all. I am going to show you how to do this particular one, and that's going to help you understand how to create all. And yeah, you're going to see all the things I've done for Kelly here. But what you do here is click on that plus sign, and here's why you don't have to remember all the sizes, because it's already got them. So you scroll down and find the social media image type that you need. So here are popular ones. Here are social media posts. But I want a Facebook timeline cover, and that's not up here. That's going to be down here on social media headers, and here it is, Facebook cover. Now see, it knows what the size is, but the wonderful thing is I don't need to know. Canva is taking care of that for me. So here's what I did. Here's the size. So I went and I had uploaded Kelly's photo here. You can upload your image here. All you do is drag it over here. I mean, it really could not be any easier. You drag it over here, just like that. I'm going to resize it, and then I'm going to go to Elements and Shapes. And I'm going to pick the very first one here and drag it over, which is a rectangle. and I'm just going to pull it over here to meet Kelly's photo. And then up here, I can click on the color for the rectangle, and I want to choose a dark green color because that is the color of Kelly's book. Becky, you had asked about that. You do want to keep your branding consistent, and that doesn't mean that you have to use the same color and same font every time, but you want to be in the same family. So I might even, let's see, I might even do this a little bit bigger. So, okay, here we go. Okay. And then here I can add the text. And I'm not actually going to take the time to write the text out here, but you can see here I can add the text. Once I've got it, I can copy it. And then those little paw icons I did, if you come up here to search and type in paw, there it is. And so, again, it's free. Everything I did today is free. So here it is. I'm going to change the color to be a similar green but lighter. So I clicked on green, and I'm going to click on the plus sign and just do something a little bit lighter. And then I'm going to copy that and put it over here. So that's how easy Canva is to use. And that's the basic process that you are going to be doing over and over again. When you want to give your title a name, it could be Facebook cover demo. Click done, and then you can download this in any number of formats. If you have used something that costs money, like if I choose this paw print and it costs $1, before I can download it, I have to pay for that, which is more than worth it in using something like this. So here's that Facebook timeline cover. That's number 1, okay? So let's do number 2. All right, image use number 2 is the same cover, just with a different color scheme. So Becky, here is another use of color. Basically what I did was I made this look a little bit vintage by graying everything down. I used a grayscale filter on Kelly's photo, and that's an option that Canva gives you. And anytime I've used a filter on Kelly's photo, I'm telling you on the slide so that you can duplicate what I've done. I then made this green, the rectangle green, and I don't think I needed to change anything else. I did. I had to change the paw. Whoops. I had to change the paw colors and the available on Amazon. So I made the paws lighter, and I made the text just kind of, everything's a little bit softer and a little bit more grayscale. And Becky, I highly recommend that you watch some of the Canva tutorials that they have. They're very short. I mean, they literally have some that are 30 seconds long. And they have some on choosing color that are really good. And I actually watched those to learn how to use Canva, and I was impressed. So I recommend that you take 15 minutes one day and watch their videos. Okay, so let's look at number 3. All right, so this is another redo of the same Facebook cover. Now, these are all the covers I'm going to do. I'm not going to go into, Twitter covers and all that stuff because they're all basically the same, and you don't really need to worry about the size. The process is the same in Canva. So here all I did was I took this image right here that I had done that was the softer, more vintage one, and I changed the photo. I gave it a different filter, which is in Canva, it's called the selfie filter, and I put a Polaroid frame around it and then rotated it. And I'm going to show y'all how to do this just in case you want to do this. So here's Kelly's photo here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make this smaller. Okay. And then I'm not going to change the color here. And see, where did Kelly's photo go? I can go up here to arrange and send this to the back. and that way Kelly's photo appears again. And I'm going to search over here for a Polaroid, and here's the Polaroid frame. So again, I'm going to have to move this over here, and this is the thing I love about Canva. When I drop this on here, it just takes care of sizing the photo and everything. I mean, it just makes it so, so easy. So here it is. Let's see, can I move it? No. Here it is. I'm going to rotate it. Whoops. I'm going to rotate it a little bit right here. And I think I used the selfie filter, which I think I would have had to have, oh, here it is. So let's see, let's go to the selfie filter. There it is. And so that's how I did that. So you can see there's a lot of things that you can do just by changing one aspect of your image design. Okay, so those are 3 social media covers. You can do this for any of your covers. Canva has all of them. Okay, number 4 is an event flyer. This is something that almost every business is going to need from one time to another. Whether you're a brick and mortar or you're an author like Kelly, you're going to have an event at some point. This is a Canva design called a flyer. It's got 3 different squares here. These are those 2 photo squares where, remember, I dropped Kelly's photo into the Polaroid. Well, here's her photo and here's her book cover. I dropped those in. I added a little bit of text, and that was it. I mean, it was really that simple. And you can use this everywhere. You can use this on your website, on any social network. You really could use it anywhere. And this is something that Canva gives you the option to print out a PDF. You can also, in Canva, do things at 300 DPI, which is important if you're having them professionally printed. And Lisa, I know you had considered doing a swatch catalog and having it printed. You can do that within Canva. You know, you'll need to lay it out, but you can definitely send this to the printer, and that's something that they can use. All right, number 5 is a social media post. And this is the format that you're going to see me use most throughout this webinar, because this works on any social network, this size. And I'm going to show you where to find this in Canva. So here I am in Canva, and it's under popular design types. It's social media. That's all it is. It's 800 by 800, and the great thing about that size is it works on every social network. It works on Instagram, on Facebook, on Pinterest, on Twitter, on LinkedIn. It works on everything. And so if you don't want to resize everything, then just do the social media post, the 800 by 800, and you only have to do it once. So I just saved you guys a ton of time. Okay, good. You did create one in Canva and you're going to print it yourself. Okay, awesome. Okay, so this size works on everything. And then what I did is I just dropped Kelly's photo on here, and I did use a filter here. I can't remember which one I used, but I added this little bar, this rectangle down here with some text. And this is a great thing to do to give your images some context. You could use this same format almost every day with the same image, with different images. It just works because you can give it a title, you can brand it, and then you can give the post itself all the details. So you'll notice here that I'm not putting the text of the posts. That's up to you. The text of the post is up to you guys, but what I'm showing you is how to take this image and repurpose it so that you can use it on any social network, so that you can change it and you could put this on Facebook, you can do it on Twitter, you can do it on Instagram. For this particular one, I titled it a social media takeover, and that is a phenomenon in social media that is similar to when you guest post on a blog. You appear as a guest on someone's blog. Well, the kind of cool hip name for that in social media is a social media takeover. And you see that a lot on Twitter and on Instagram. Somebody's taking over their Instagram feed. I personally would not let anybody have my credentials. Some people do, but what they can do is send me some photos, and they can send me some text to go with it, and I would do that. So this is a social media takeover post, and those are most common on these three social networks, the ones that are relatively fast-paced. You wouldn't see this on Pinterest or on YouTube or something like that. All right, number 6 is another social media post, and notice it's the same thing. It's the exact same thing, different filter, different color rectangle, and I changed up the text. And again, you could use this everywhere. If Kelly was doing an interview with someone for her book, whether it be television, radio, a podcast, on a blog, she could use this one image and give it to everyone, and it would work. And that's what I love about this, is it's very media friendly. And the one thing that I do understand about the media, I have a journalism degree and I've done public relations. If you want the media to cover you, you've got to make it just super easy for them to do it. You've got to give them everything they need and be available at a moment's notice. And this is how you do it. All right, this is a celebration post, number 7. Again, it's the same post. It's a little bit more of a festive filter, and it says happy birthday. And this is text that I got in Canva, and there's the little paw print again. So you can see I'm doing this over and over again. Okay, our next one, Kelly, please have a sense of humor about this. So our next one is a meme post. And you've got to be careful with these because meme posts tend to be mean-spirited. And as a brand, you don't want to do this. You want to be humorous, but in a way that's kind. So here, I love the fact that Kelly has curly hair instead of her poodles. So I said, we share the same hairstylist. All I did here is, again, use the same photo, even the same filter, and I just put kind of meme text along the top and bottom. So that's as easy as that is. Again, the places where you see memes are usually on Facebook and Twitter. Again, the fast-paced social networks, sometimes on Instagram, but mostly on Facebook and on Twitter. And thank you, Kelly, for having a good sense of humor. All right, number 9 is a presentation deck. And again, this is one of those things that everybody is going to need at one point in your brand's existence. You're going to be doing a presentation, whether it's online or at a conference or at a workshop. You're going to need a slide deck. This again is from Canva. It's the How to Write a Story presentation, and all I did was drop Kelly's photo on. And these are pet photos that they had in Canva, and they're the free ones. I just dropped them on there. And a presentation like a PowerPoint or even a Google slide deck, you can use everywhere, and it really helps your SEO. And Lisa, if you had asked me yesterday, how can I do social media if I don't have a website? This is how you do it. You don't have to have a website to do the things that I'm talking about here. You can do a slide deck and upload it to SlideShare. You can do all of the social media postings. You don't have to have a website to do this, and it can still help your SEO. It can still increase your rank for your LinkedIn profile and your social media profiles and even videos. So especially SlideShare increases your SEO. In fact, the more you can get others to embed your presentation on their websites, the better it is. And Lisa, I'm going to tell you something that I did that possibly could be something that you might want to do. I'm going to put a bug in your ear. I self-published a book called Color Mastery, 10 Principles for Creating Stunning Quilts. And it was a very expensive book to do. It was full color. It did not look like a self-published book. And I kept it on Amazon's top 10 list for an entire year when it came out. And I'm not saying that's easy to do, but it's easier to do than it is to keep it on a top 10 list for a second year. Because once a book has a shelf life, just like any other product, and there are newer books coming out all the time. And so I had to come up with a marketing idea that would keep it in front of people. And what I wanted to do was video, but I really wasn't that comfortable with it. So instead, I came up with doing a color of the month slideshow. And I would choose a color and invite quilters to participate. All they had to do was to send me a photo of their quilt that had the color of the month in it. And I would include their photo and a link to their website in the slide presentation. And it worked like gangbusters, because everyone who submitted a quilt and was included in that presentation, my apologies for my dogs, they're outside, embedded that slide deck on their website. And the very last slide in the slide deck was where you could buy my book. It kept my book on Amazon for a second solid year. Now, if you had told me that a SlideShare presentation would work for a quilt book, I would have said you're crazy, but it worked. And it worked because I got people to embed the presentation on their website. It was a collaborative marketing effort, and that's why it worked. So this is a way that you can use the same photo in that presentation.